Hello, I hope this video finds you well. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at Python-specific notation to access parts of a string. Now these are great because they can make your coding a lot faster, but they also can be a little bit of a problem for beginning programmers because if we rely on them too heavily, moving to a new language can be a little more difficult because these are specific to Python. All right, so let's come up here and let's make a variable called movie, and I'm going to call it A New Hope. And so this movie called A New Hope, and again, when we look at a string, we think about two things. We think about the length and the index values. So this has a length of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and therefore it has indexes 0 to 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And what I want is I want to remember that with a string, it's a collection of characters, so that space matters. So let's make three variables. We're going to say first word, and that's going to be movie at, and it's just the A, so I'm going to say movie at 0. We're going to say second word equals movie at, and I'm going to do the substring here, so I'm going to say, well, this is inclusive, so I'm going to say 2, covers it up, 2, 3, 4, but I want inclusive, exclusive, so it's going to say 2:5, and we can do a quick check, because we can say 5 minus 2 equals 3, and that is the length of new, and the third word equals movie at, and this is going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, so it's going to be 6:10. And so we're going to say, do a little check, 10 minus 6 equals 4, and that checks out fine because hope is 4. So now if I print first word, print second word, and print third word, I should get those three words now broken up. Oh. And there we go, A New Hope. Now, a couple things that I might want to do to make this a little better. Here I'm writing length of 10. I don't want to do that because I want to actually calculate the length of the word. So I'm going to say length of movie. And again, remember, inclusive, exclusive. So I get the same effect now, but what I'm doing is I'm calculating the length of the word. So if I said A New Hope and put a bunch of exclamation marks here, it would now catch those exclamation marks because I'm going from 6 to the length of the movie. Now, what Python has is Python actually has this nice notation where I don't actually have to give the second index. Turns out this works as well. So this notation where I have an index but I don't write anything here, what it means is it's an indicator to take inclusive this index to basically whatever else is left. So if I save this, I get hope still because what this does, this Python specific notation, it says start at index 6 and take everything to the right of it. Now what I can also do is I could do this. I could print, well, let's print movie. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pick a random index, let's say 4. If I put a colon in front of it, what this says is it says, I want you to take everything to the left of index 4 and access that. And so notice I get A and E because here index 0, 1, 2, 3, and it's inclusive, exclusive, so it doesn't actually include index 4, but it will go up to it. So again, this nice shorthand notation to grab everything to the left of an index and everything from an index to the right of it. Another type of notation that's really useful is sometimes we want to print out the last letter in a word. So if I wanted to print out the last letter in movie, I would print movie at len of movie minus 1. So what I've done is I've calculated the length of movie minus 1 and use that as the index, and notice I get the E. Well, it turns out another nice shorthand in Python is you can do this. If you put a negative in front, so if you use a negative as an index value, so if I say movie at -1, what that means is I would like you to get the last letter in the word. So I run that and I get the E. If I say movie at index, let's imagine I want the H. I could say index 6, but I could also say index -1, -2, -3, -4. So I can say -4, and notice I get the H now. So it turns out you can actually index things from the start, but you can also index it from the end using this negative notation. And that can be quite useful when you're getting into some more complicated kind of algorithms. So I'm going to leave it there. Play around with these shorthand notations. They can be really useful and they can speed up your coding techniques. But do remember that these shorthands are Python specific. So you just have to be a little cautious that when you move to a new language, that these don't exist. With that, have a great day, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.